Welcome to Everyday English Stories. Today's story is The Repair Cafe, told at a natural upper intermediate pace for B2 learners. After the story, we learn 6 useful words and expressions. For the best part of a decade, her grandfather's radio had done nothing but gather dust on the shelf. Nina had kept it out of sentiment rather than any real intention of using it. Then, on a gray Tuesday morning, she felt the urge to hear something other than her phone. She switched the radio on and was met with total silence. Her first instinct was to write it off as beyond repair. Her neighbor, Mrs. Park, who had a talent for appearing at exactly the right moment, disagreed. "Before you give up on it, take it to the repair cafe," she said. The idea was simple. Volunteers gave up a Saturday morning to help strangers mend the things they owned. Nina was skeptical, but curiosity got the better of her. The community hall turned out to be far busier than she had expected. Toasters, table lamps, a vacuum cleaner and a suspiciously silent guitar amplifier were spread across the tables. The air smelled of coffee and warm electronics. A volunteer named Tom, whose glasses were pushed up on his forehead, beckoned her over. "Let's see what we're dealing with," he said, reaching for a screwdriver. He removed the back panel with the ease of somebody who had done it 1,000 times. Inside, the components looked oddly beautiful, a small city of wires and colored discs. "There," he said. "One wire has come away from the speaker. Nothing dramatic." Nina assumed he would fix it while she watched. Instead, he handed her the soldering iron. "The whole point of this place is that you leave knowing something you didn't know before." Her first attempt was, by her own admission, a mess. Her second was a neat silver bead that even Tom approved of. When they screwed the panel back on and turned the dial, a piano concerto came crackling out of the speaker. Several people looked up from their own repairs and gave her a round of applause. It was, she thought, a ridiculous amount of joy for one small wire. Over tea, Tom mentioned casually, but not by accident, that they were always looking for extra hands. "I'm hardly an expert," Nina protested. "Neither was I. I turned up with a broken kettle 3 years ago and never really left." She thought about the shelf at home, and about how easily she had nearly thrown the radio away. A month later she was back, this time on the other side of the table. Her first customer was a boy of about 9 with a remote control car that had lost its voice. She pushed her own glasses up onto her forehead and reached for a screwdriver. "Right," she said. "Let's see what we're dealing with." That brings the story to an end. Now let's look at 6 useful words and expressions from it. To gather dust. To sit unused for a long time. For example, her grandfather's radio had done nothing but gather dust on the shelf. To write something off. To decide something is useless or beyond saving. For example, her first instinct was to write it off as beyond repair. To get the better of someone. To become stronger than a person's self-control. For example, Nina was skeptical, but curiosity got the better of her. To beckon. To signal to someone to come closer. For example, a volunteer named Tom beckoned her over. By one's own admission. As the person themselves accepts. For example, her first attempt was, by her own admission, a mess. A round of applause. Clapping from a group of people. For example, several people gave her a round of applause. Great work. Listen again with your eyes closed and let the rhythm of the sentences do the teaching. New episodes every day, so please subscribe. See you tomorrow.